So you paid $1,000 for a brand new iPhone, but Apple still controls it. Oh, that thing you're watching this on right now, you don't even own it. The company codes its devices with software that complicates repairs by triggering safety warnings and malfunctions. For a decade, it was easy to get help repairing an iPhone. Cracked screens could be replaced in minutes, and broken cameras could be exchanged without a hitch. But since 2017, iPhone repairs have been a minefield. New batteries can trigger warning messages, replacement screens can disable a phone's brightness settings, and substitute selfie cameras can malfunction. The breakdowns are an outgrowth of Apple's practice of writing software that gives it control over iPhones even after someone has bought one. So unlike cars, which can be repaired with generic parts by auto shops and do-it-yourself mechanics, new iPhones are coded to recognize the serial numbers for original components and may malfunction if parts are changed. This year, 7 iPhone parts can trigger issues during repairs. That's up from 3 in 2017, when the company introduced a facial recognition system to unlock the device. This is according to iFixit, a company that analyzes iPhone components and sells parts for do-it-yourself repairs. The rate at which parts can cause breakdowns has been rising about 20% a year since 2016, when only one repair caused a problem. In a series of tests, iFixit determines which parts cause issues when swapped between working iPhones of the same model, and the results reveal that the number of malfunctions has increased with later iPhone generations. So now parts pairing issues are more common in newer iPhones. So if you check out the screen right now, we've got a breakdown for parts pairing issues, and the parts pairing issues are more common in newer iPhones. So you can see it from 2012, iPhone 5, right the way through to 2023 with the iPhone 15. In red, it represents parts that don't work as expected when swapped with the same working part from an identical new iPhone. And then in yellow-orange, sometimes stops working as expected when swapped, sometimes fine. So the software phenomenon, which is known as parts pairing, has encouraged Apple customers to turn to their stores or authorized repair centers, which charge higher prices for parts and labor. In recent years, only approved parts and sanctioned repairs have avoided the problems. Replacing a shattered screen typically costs nearly $300, about $100 more than work done by an independent shop using third-party screens. To put it another way, the cost of replacing a cracked screen on a year-old iPhone 14 is nearly equivalent to the phone's value, which Apple appraises at around about $430 in trade-in credit. So Apple's grip on repairs creates an incentive for customers to spend up to $200 on device insurance. This is known as AppleCare, which provides free battery replacements and screen repairs. Apple collects an estimated $9 billion a year for the service. This has also brought up questions about Apple's commitment to sustainability, with independent repair advocates saying that the company could more effectively meet its goals of reducing carbon emissions by lowering repair costs to encourage people to maintain devices rather than just buying new ones. An Apple spokesman said the company supported a customer's right to repair a device and had created a self-service repair program to help. They say, "We have been innovating to offer our customers the best choice and options when their product needs service." Now, state lawmakers from New York to California have responded with laws that aim to make repairs easier. The Biden administration has encouraged the Federal Trade Commission to advance rules that would stop smartphone makers from restricting independent repairs. But most of the regulations don't include explicit restrictions on parts pairing. The iPhone 7 model, released in 2016, has been lauded as the last easily repairable model. Do you still have it? Are you still repairing it, just swapping out parts? It's only got one function, Touch ID, that actually stops working when the home button of the phone is replaced in a non-Apple authorized repair. The release of the iPhone X, that's the phone I still have from 2017, represented a significant shift in the design of iPhones. So parts pairing increased, and more parts, including the front display and the front-facing camera, stopped working correctly when replaced. And Apple's latest phone, the iPhone 15, has more features and, with them, more parts pairing. Using software to control repairs has become commonplace across electronics, appliances, and heavy machinery as faster chips and cheaper memory turn everyday products into miniature computers. Our iPhones are computers now. Apple and other companies have defended the practice by saying it protects customers' safety and the company's brand. Shoddy parts like a faulty face scanner could compromise the phone's security, and if an independent shop messes up a repair, well, the customer often blames Apple instead of the shop. The practice also allows Apple to create a record of parts in the device, which can be helpful to buyers of second-hand phones. But the increase in pairing parts with software has animated a movement that wants to make repairs cheaper and easier. Proponents, which include iFix, as we mentioned earlier, say it would be better for the environment and customers' wallets to extend the life of devices. They've urged lawmakers to simplify repairs, asking who owns the device after it's been purchased, the customer or the manufacturer. It's almost like now if you want to do a repair, you have to ask for permission. If permission is granted, then you can go ahead. When Apple expanded its software limits in 2017, it upended repair businesses. This now means that some customers with cracked screens just keep using the phone because they find repairing it or replacing it unaffordable. And customers who opt against paying top dollar for an Apple authorized repair may suffer the consequences. Over the past year, New York, Minnesota, and California passed bills requiring that electronic manufacturers provide parts, tools, and manuals to third parties. After years of lobbying against such rules, Apple signed on to support California's law and honor it across the United States. The head of Apple's repair service said that Apple has taken steps to expand options for customers to repair their devices, which they know is good for the consumer's budgets and good for the environment. But the California legislation failed to directly address Apple's practice of using software to control the repair process. Oh, and talking Apple parts, not the iPhone 16, forget that, that's old already. The iPhone 17, I got iPhone 17 news. If you check out my video on the iPhone 17 news, you can find out why Apple are going to let you change the battery on the device yourself. The Apple iPhone 17 will have removable batteries. Apple are making their own batteries, and there's a reason. And I don't think it's to help you, put it that way. I think it's to make a bit of money. Check out the video on my page and subscribe, comment, and like for more.